Hey guys, Mr. T here. This is a video on the solutions for your 2018 Year 10 Practice Linear Equations and Inequalities and Simultaneous Equations test. This is longer than the real thing, but should give you a really good idea of the kind of questions you need to be able to deal with for the summative. So starting off with, we've got some fluency questions, just answering linear equations, solving for x. So here we've got 9 plus 2x is equal to negative 11. I need to get x by itself, so I need to get rid of the positive 9. So the opposite of positive 9 is negative 9. So that's my opposite operation to try and get rid of positive 9. I need to do it on the other side to keep the equation balanced. So 9 take 9 is going to be 0, so all that's left on the left-hand side is 2x. Then negative 11 take 9 is going to be negative 20. I need to get rid of the 2 in front of x. 2 is multiplying x, so the opposite of multiplying by x is dividing. 2 is multiplying x, so the opposite of timesing by 2 is dividing by 2, so divide both sides by 2 to keep it balanced. 2 divided by 2 cancels to 1, so you're left with x is equal to negative 20 divided by 2 is negative 10. So that is the solution for the first one. Second one, you got a fraction forming the whole side on the left, and actually you do have a fraction on the right hand side, it's just not written. So when you've got fractions making up the whole left and right hand sides, you can cross multiply. So bottom of the left hand side times by the top of the right, bottom of the right times by the top of the left. So it becomes 1 lot of 3 take 2x is equal to 7 lots of negative 5. Expand the brackets, 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times negative 2x is negative 2x. 7 times by negative 5 is negative 35. I need to get rid of the positive 3 here. Take 3 from both sides. You're going to be left with negative 2x. Negative 35, take 3 is going to be negative 38. Negative 2 is multiplying with x, so the opposite of that is dividing by negative 2. Divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2 on negative 2 cancels out, so x is going to be whatever negative 38 is divided by negative 2, which is 19. X is equal to 19. Next equation, no fractions, but we've got brackets to expand. Expand the brackets. 2 times by x is 2x. 2 times by positive 5 is 10. Brackets expanded, you've got negative 4x left over is equal to 9. Collect like terms. 2x's, negative 4x's is going to be negative 2x's. Still plus 10 on the left-hand side is equal to 9. Get rid of the positive 10 by taking 10 from both sides. Taking 10 from the left-hand side will get rid of the positive 10. Taking 10 from the right-hand side, 9 take 10 is going to be negative 1. X is being multiplied by negative 2. The opposite of that is dividing by negative 2. Divide by negative 2 on both sides. You're left with x. X is going to be whatever negative 1 divided by negative 2 is, which is positive a half. Why? Because a negative divided by negative is a positive. Here we've got 3 sets of brackets. Expand them all. 3 times by 5 is 15. 3 times by negative x is negative 3x. Negative 2 times by x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times by negative 1 is positive 2. It's the left-hand side done. Negative 7 times by x is negative 7x. Negative 7 times by positive 3 is negative 21. Collect like terms. 15, negative 3x's, take 2x's and negative 5x's, plus 2 is equal to negative 7x. Take 21. 15 plus 2 is 17 on the left-hand side. So left-hand side has been collected. Take 21 here. I want all of my x's on one side. So I need to get rid of the negative 7x on the right-hand side. The opposite of taking 7x is adding 7x. Add 7x to both sides. So if I add 7x to negative 5x, I'm going to have positive 2x Negative 7x would cancel out, so you've got negative 21 on the right hand side. I need to get rid of positive 17, so I need to take 17 from both sides. Negative 21 take 17 is going to be negative 38. 2x, so the opposite of that is dividing by 2. Divide both sides by 2. 2's cancel out. X is going to be negative 38 divided by 2 is going to be negative 19. Here we've got fractions making up the whole of each side of the equation, so you can cross multiply. So 2 lots of 4x plus 5 is equal to 3 lots of x. Expand the bracket. 8x plus 2 times by 5 is 10 is equal to 3x. I'm going to put the x's on the right hand side this time. The opposite of positive 8x is negative 8x. So 3x take 8x is going to be negative 5x's. I want to get rid of the negative 5, so divide by negative 5 on both sides. That cancels. So you got x is equal to 10 divided by negative 5, which is going to be negative 2. Underline that for the solution. Last one here. You've got a fraction on the left hand side, but not just one fraction on the right hand side. So we need to deal with common denominators. So any whole number is over 1, any whole number is over 1. So the lowest common denominator is going to be 5. How did I work that out? 5 on the bottom times by 1 on the bottom times by 1 on the bottom is 5. So I need them all to have the denominator of 5. The first term on the left hand side is already over 5, so that's fine. To get x over 1 to the same denominator, I need to times it by 5 over 5. And to get 6 with the same denominator, I also need to times it by 5 over 5. You're allowed to times it by 5 over 5 because 5 over 5 is 1. That means you're not changing the question, you're just timesing the terms by 1. So take 3x on 5 is equal to top times the top, bottom times by the bottom. 5 times by x is 5x, 1 times by 5 is 5, 6 times by 5 is 30, 1 times by 5 is 5. All of the terms are over 5, so all times by 5 to get rid of the denominators. So you're going to have this left over 4, take 3x is equivalent to 5x. Take 30, once you've times all the terms by 5. Let's get the x's on the left hand side. The opposite of positive 5x is negative 5x. So negative 3x's take 5x is going to be negative 8x's. Take 30 on the right hand side. Get rid of the positive 4. Opposite of positive 4 is take 4. Negative 30 take 4 is going to be negative 34. X is being multiplied by negative 8, so divide by negative 8 on both sides. X is going to be negative 34 on negative 8. That cancels down to, both are divisible by 2, 17 on 4. So that's the first page done. On to the second page. So once again, you've got a fraction making up the full left side and a fraction making up the full right side. It's just not written like that. But any whole number is just itself over 1. So we can cross multiply. 1 times by 1 is 1. 5 times by 3x is 15x. Opposite of timesing by 15 is dividing by 15. Divide both sides by 15. We'll leave your x is equal to 1/15, or 1 over 15. Again, you've got a fraction on the left hand side, and on the right hand side it's a fraction as well, just not written like that. Cross multiply. 1 times by x plus 6, and negative 1 times by 3, take 2x. Expand the brackets, x plus 6. Negative 1 times by 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times negative 2x is positive 2x. Need to collect like terms. I'm going to put all my x's on the left-hand side. So I need to get rid of the positive 2x on the right. The opposite of adding 2x is taking 2x. So on the left, x take 2x is going to be negative 1x. Plus 6 is equal to negative 3. Continue the working up on the right. I need to get rid of the positive 6 on the left-hand side. So the opposite of adding 6 is taking 6. Take 6 from both sides. Negative 3 take 6 is going to be negative 9. Now this is tricky because I don't want the solution to be negative x is equal to negative 9. I want it to be x is equal to something. So remember back to the teaching in class. Anything with a negative number in it is the same as timesing that number by negative 1. So negative x is the same as negative 1 times by x. How do I get rid of the times by negative 1? Divide by negative 1. Divide both sides by negative 1 to cancel it. X is going to be negative 9 divided by negative 1. Just straight 9. Here we have multiple fractions on one side, so you can't do a cross multiplication. You need to write everything with the same denominator. So lowest common denominator is going to be 30. Why? Because 5 times by 2 is 10, times by 3, these are the denominators, is going to be 30. So how do I get them all to the same denominator of 30? Well, the first one, x is on 5, so 5, to get to 30, I need to multiply it by 6. So the first fraction I'm timesing by 6 on 6. The second fraction is over 2, so I need to times that by 15. 15 on 15 is equal to 1 on 3. I need to times the last fraction by 10 because 3 times 10 is 30. So these are going to have the same denominators now of 30. Top by the top, bottom by the bottom. X times by 6 is 6x. 5 times by 6 is 30. This is going to be 15, lots of 2x plus 1 over 2 times 15 is 30. Is equal to 1 times 10 is 10, 3 times 10, 30. All the same denominators now, so times all by 30. And you're going to have the top line left over. 15, 2x plus 1 is equal to 10. Continue the working. On the right hand side, I'm going to expand the brackets, so 6x plus. What's 15 times 2x? That is 30x. What's 15 times by 1? 15 is equal to 10. I've got 6x's and 30x's, so I've got 36x's on the left-hand side. Plus 15 is 10. Get rid of the positive 15. By taking 15, 10 take 15 is negative 5. 36x's, so what's the opposite of 36 times by x? It's dividing by 36. Divide both sides by 36. 36 by 36 divided by 36, sorry, it comes to 1, so it leaves x by itself. X is going to be negative 5 on 36. That doesn't cancel down. So that's solution there. Lastly, one of your tricker lowest common denominator questions. The lowest common denominator here is an algebra expression, which is x by x plus 1. How do I know that? Well, by doing the same technique as we did here. You times the denominators by each other. The denominators here are x and x plus 1. What is x times by x plus 1? It is x bracket x plus 1. Alright, so how do I get 2 on x to have the denominator x times by x plus 1? It's already got the x there, so I need to times it by x plus 1 over x plus 1. Taking the next fraction, 3 on x plus 1. It's already got a denominator of x plus 1. I need to times it by x on x is equal to 7 on x plus 1. That's already got the lowest common denominator we want. So top by the top, 2x plus 1 on x plus 1. Take 3 times by x is 3x on x times by x plus 1, and this denominator we didn't need to do anything with. Times all by the lowest common denominator, x by x plus 1, so you're going to have 2x plus 1, take 3x is equal to 7 left over. Continue the working out on the right hand side, expand the brackets, 2 times by x is 2x, 2 times by 1 is 2, take 3x is equal to 7, 2x take 3x is going to be negative 1x, or negative x, plus 2 left over is equal to 7, negative x. So the opposite of plus 2, taking 2, take 2 from both sides, 7 take 2 is not 7, that's wrong, 7 take 2 is 5, negative x is equal to 5, that's not a solution. Negative x is the same as negative 1 times by x is equal to 5. I want to get rid of the times by negative 1, divide by negative 1 on both sides. X is going to be 5 divided by negative 1, negative 5. That's the solution there. Next, we got some problem solving. Perimeter of this triangle is 56 centimeters. So the keys here are its perimeter, and the total is 56. So perimeter is, of any straight-sided shape is just the length of the sides all added together. These symbols here indicate that those sides are the same. So I've got an x on the left, plus an x on the right, plus x plus 2 on the bottom, and if I add them together, the question is telling me they'll add up to 56 centimeters. Now look at these brackets. There's nothing I can do between x and 2. So according to Bedmas, we've dealt with the bracket. We can't do anything there, so you can expand it. X plus x plus 2 is equal to 56. I've got 3 x's here, so 3x plus 2 is 56. Get rid of the positive 2 by taking 2 from both sides. 56 take 2 is 54. Opposite of timesing by 3 is dividing by 3. 3 on 3 is 1, leaving x by itself. 54 divided by 3 is, 3's into 5 is 1. 2 left over. 3's into 24 is 8. So 18 centimeters is the solution there. So that is page 2 out of the way. Alright, on to page 3. So we've got worded problems here. Just keep in mind that I'm talking you through these questions as well, so hopefully you get an idea how quickly you should be operating with all the practice we've done in class. So in this question, a school has 200 students. 1/3 of the boys have blue eyes, 1/4 of the girls have blue eyes. We've got a total of 57 students have blue eyes, and how many boys attend the school? So remember, one of the pro tips that I've given you is that often the question tells you what you should set the variables to be. So in this case, how many boys attend the school? So let x be number of boys at the school. So you've already decided that x is going to be the number of boys, right? Now, we've only got one situation here. Number of boys and number of girls with blue eyes is going to be 57. So we can't have two variables. We can't solve it if we don't have two equations we can deal with. So I need to be able to write the number of girls in terms of the variable x. How do we do that? Well, we know the school has 200 students. That's the key there. So if I know that there's x boys and there's 200 students in total, well, 200, the total, minus the number of boys, that's going to be the number of girls, because everything left over after the number of boys from 200 is going to be the girls. Alright? So now we've got something to deal with here. We know that the total number of students with blue eyes is 57. 1/3 of the boys have blue eyes. So how do I write 1/3 of something? Well, that's the same as dividing by 3. So the number of boys divided by 3 is x on 3. That's the number. 1/3 of the boys have blue eyes. Plus 1/4 of the girls have blue eyes. So the number of girls is 200. Take x, right? But 1/4 of them have blue eyes. So a quarter of something is when you've divided it by 4. So that is our equation that we can deal with. Now we've got two fractions on the left-hand side. We can't cross-multiply. So we need to find the lowest common denominator. Lowest common denominator is going to be 12. How did I find that? 3 times by 4 times by 1 is equal to 12. So I need to get them all with the same denominators. X on 3, I'm going to need to multiply by 4 on 4. 200, take x on 4, I'm going to need to multiply by 3 on 3 to get a denominator of 12. And 57 on 1, I'll need to times by 12 on 12 to get a denominator of 12. So do these multiplications, top by the top, bottom by the bottom. X times by 4 is 4x. 3 times by 4 is 12, plus, I'm timesing 3 by everything on the top line, which is 200 take x, on 4 times by 3, 12. Other side, 57 times by 12, 57 times by 10, 570, 2 times by 57, 114, that gives me 684, I believe. 684 on 12. You'll have your calculator for the test anyway. All the denominators are 12 now, so times all by 12 to get rid of the denominators. The equation is now 4x plus 3 lots of 200 take x is equal to 684. Expand the brackets, you'll get 4x plus 600 take 3x is equal to 684. I want to get rid of the positive 600. No, sorry, I need to collect 4 and negative 3x. 4 take 3x is going to be 1x plus 600 is 684. The opposite of adding 600 is taking 600. 684 take 600 is going to be 84. Therefore, 84 boys attend the school. Glasses A, B, and C contain a total of 1 litre of water. Glass B contains 3 times as much water as glass A, half as much water as glass C. How much water is in glass B? So, that helps us decide. X is glass B. It tells you already. So I need to write everything in terms of X, which is glass B. If glass A, all we're given is glass B has 3 times as much water as glass A. So if something is 3 times as much as glass A must be a third of that. So A is a third of glass B. How do I write a third of X? X on 3. Glass B contains 3 times as much water as glass A and half as much water as glass C. So if glass B is half of glass C is going to be twice glass B. So glass C is going to be 2 lots of X because it's twice as large as glass B. So our equation then, we know that they all add up to 1 litre. I've got glass A, X on 3, plus glass B, X, plus glass C, 2X, is equal to 1 litre. These all have different denominators. So this one is on 1, this one is on 1, this one is on 1. Lowest common denominator is going to be 3. This one is already on 3, so I don't need to do anything with that. This one I need to times by 3 on 3. This one I need to times by 3 on 3. And the last one I need to times by 3 on 3. So the equation is going to look like this now. Top by the top, bottom by the bottom. 3x on 3. 2x times by 3 is 6x on 3. And 3 on 3. Times all by 3 to get rid of the denominators. You've got x plus 3x plus 6x is equal to 3. How many x's do I have on the left hand side? 3, 4, 4 plus 6, 10 x's is equal to 3. Opposite of timesing by 10 is dividing by 10. Divide both sides by 10. X is going to be 3 on 10, or 0.3 litres. 0.3 litres in glass B. Alright, Kanye's pet shelter receives $150 for each dog, $100 for each cat, $60 for each rabbit they sell in 1 week. So 150, 160 in 1 week. Same number of cats and dogs, 5 fewer rabbits, sold 28 in total. How many of each animal did Kanye sell? Unlike the previous questions, it doesn't tell you what to make X, so you can decide. It mentions cats first, so I'm going to make X equal number of cats. Now in this question, same number of cats and dogs, so X is going to be number of dogs too. Because in this question you were told that they were the same. 5 fewer rabbits than cats or dogs. So what is 5 fewer than X? Well, whatever X is, take 5 is equal to the number of rabbits. So what do we have here? The total number of animals is going to be number of cats plus the number of dogs plus the number of rabbits sold. And we were told they equal 28. So deal with this bracket first. I can't do anything with X take 5 because I don't know what X is, so I can expand it. X plus X take 5 is equal to 28. 3 X's I have in total. Negative 5 is equal to 28. Get rid of the negative 5 by adding 5. So add 5 to both sides. 28 add 5 is going to be 33. Get rid of the times by 3 by dividing by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. X is going to be 33 divided by 3, 11. How many of each animal did Kanye sell? Therefore, 11 cats. Because we worked out X is equal to 11 and we decided X was the number of cats. Because the number of dogs was the same, 11 dogs. And then how many rabbits? 5 fewer than 11. So 11 take 5 is going to be 6 rabbits. How much money did Kanye's shelter receive? So, for this situation, we know 11 cats were sold, 11 dogs were sold, 6 rabbits were sold. We're given the information for how much they're sold for up the top, the first part of the question. So 11 cats at 100 each, plus 11 dogs at 150 each, plus 6 rabbits at 60 each. 11 times by 100 is 1100. 11 times by 150 is 1650. 6 times by 636 with the 0, $360. All those added up together is $3,110 in total. Solution there. In the next week, Kanye's shelter sold twice as many cats as dogs, 3 fewer rabbits than dogs. If the shelter received 3,100 that week, how many dogs did they sell? Alright, I'm going to continue with, you can make X equal the number of dogs, but we already established up in the previous question that X was cats. So I'm going to leave X as the number of cats. X is cats. Alright, based on this information, twice as many cats as dogs. If cat was X and I sold twice as many cats as dogs, well, I sold half as many dogs, so X divided by 2 is going to be the number of dogs sold. 3 fewer rabbits than dogs. Well, we said that there was X on 2 dogs. There's 3 fewer rabbits than that. So X on 2 is the number of dogs. And 3 fewer, which is minus 3, is going to be the rabbits. So that lets us construct our equation. The only problem is there's an added difficulty because it only tells us the price. It doesn't tell us how many animals. So, like we did here, well, we multiplied by the prices of each individual animal to get the prices. We have to do the same. So, cats are $100, so 100 times by X plus 150 times by the number of dogs, X on 2, plus 60 times by the number of cats, which was X on 2 minus 3. And we know that in total they made $3,100. So we need to expand these. 100x, nothing I can do there. 150 times by x on 2. Well, 150 is the same as 150 over 1. 150 times x, 150x on 2. Plus, expanding the brackets, 60x on 2, because 60 is 60 over 1. Take 60 times by negative 3 is going to be negative 180. Lucky for us, these are all divisible by 2. 100x's plus, what's 150x's divided by 2? That's 75x's plus, what's 60x's divided by 2? 30x's. Take 180, and I forgot to write is equal to 3100 here, is equal to 3100. So, how many x's do I have in total? 100x plus 75x, 175x plus 30x, 205x. 205x, take 180 is equal to 3100. What's the opposite of taking 180? Adding 180. So continue working on the right hand side. 205x is equal to 3100, add 180, 3280. Opposite of timesing by 205 is dividing by 205. Divide both sides by 205. X is going to be, just grab my calculator. Remember, you don't get a note sheet, but you get a calculator. 3280 divided by 205. X is going to be 16. 16 cats. X is going to be 16 cats, but dogs was X on 2. So X on 2, 16 divided by 2, therefore 8 dogs were sold. Why is that? Because my solution was X for the number of cats, but the number of dogs is not that. The number of dogs is whatever X is divided by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So how many dogs did they sell? 8 dogs. So on to the next page. Solve the following inequalities. So we just finished a bunch of linear equations problems. Now we've got some inequalities to deal with. So remember, these are exactly the same. The only time that you need to worry about the sign itself is when you flip it. That only occurs when you times or divide both sides by a negative number. That is the only time it's different to equations. So I want to get rid of the positive 3. So take 3 from both sides. Negative 4 take 3 is going to be negative 7. Get rid of the times by negative 2, so divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. But because I'm dividing both sides by negative 2, I need to flip the sign. So x is going to be less than or equal to. It's not greater than or equal to anymore. Negative 7 on 2, negative 2, which is positive 7 on 2, or 3.5. Sorry about the block nose, I'm getting a bit sick. Okay, next one. We can cross multiply because the whole left side is a fraction, the whole right side is a fraction, just not written. So 1 times by 2x plus 3 is still less than 2 times by negative 3, which is negative 6. Expand the brackets, 2x plus 3 is less than negative 6. Get rid of the plus 3 by taking 3 from both sides. Take 3 from negative 6 is negative 9. To get rid of the times by 2, divide by 2 on both sides. I'm dividing by a positive number on both sides, so I don't need to flip. So x is still going to be less than negative 9 on 2. Or, what's negative 9 on 2? Negative 4.5. Next one, expand the brackets. 3 times by x is 3x. 3 times by 2 is 6. I've got to take 1 on the outside. Less than or equal to 1, take 4x. Collect like terms on the left-hand side. Positive 6, take 1 is positive 5. Still less than or equal to 1, take 4x. I need to collect like terms on either side. I need to get on my x's, and I'm going to put them all on the left-hand side. The opposite of taking 4x is adding 4x. 3x add 4x is going to be 7x's, plus 5 is less than or equal to 1. I want to get rid of positive 5, so I'm going to take 5 from both sides. Take 5 from 1 is negative 4. The opposite of timesing by 7 is dividing by 7. I need to divide both sides by 7. I'm not dividing by a negative number on both sides, so I don't need to flip. So x is going to be less than or equal to negative 4 on 7. Right. So an inequality worded problem. Kanye was told to think of a number. Think of a number. Add 20 to it, then divide the result by 3. The answer was lower than Kanye's original number. Determine the range of possible numbers that Kanye may have originally chosen. So that's telling me that my variable x is going to be the original number that he thought of. So I was asked to think of a number, x, add 20 to it, divide the result by 3. What's the result of x add 20 is x add 20, divided by 3 is like that. The answer was lower than Kanye's original number. So it's saying when I do all of this on this left-hand side, it is smaller than the original number, which was x itself. Okay, so I have a fraction forming the left-hand side. I also have a fraction on the right-hand side. I just didn't write it like that, so I can cross-multiply. 1 times by x plus 20 is less than 3 times by x, which is 3x. Expand the brackets. 1 times by x is x. 1 times by 20 is 20, is less than 3x. Do my working on the right-hand side. I'm going to put my x's on the right-hand side this time. What's the opposite of positive x, negative x? So take x from both sides. 3x take x is going to be 2x. Get rid of the times by 2 by dividing by 2 on both sides. X is going to be greater than 20 divided by 2, 10. If this right now is triggering you, then you can flip it around. X is greater than 10. Why are these exactly the same? Well, the open side of the inequality is always facing x. So therefore, Kanye could choose any number greater than 10. Okay, so that is that page done. Moving on. So here we have phone plans for international calls. Kim and Kanye have different phone plans for international calls. Kim's got a 20-cent flat fee plus $1.10 per minute. Kanye's got 60-cent flat fee plus $1.05 per minute. For what call times is it cheaper to use Kanye's phone plan? So, what call times? So, X is going to be call time. We're working in minutes here. So Kim's plan, the cost of it with a call time of X is going to be 20 cents, 0.2, plus $1.10 for every minute call. So 1.10, I'll do it to 2 decimal places, 0.20 plus 1.10 times by X. That's Kim's. This is Kanye's 0.60 plus 1.05 X. For what call times is it cheaper to use Kanye's phone plan? So on the right hand side is Kanye's, and I want it to be smaller, so I'm going to have the closed end of the inequality pointing at Kanye's. Alright, so I want to collect my x's all on the same side. So I'm going to get rid of the positive 1.05x by taking 1.05x. So on the left hand side I'm going to have 0.05x. It's greater than 0.60. I need to get rid of the positive 0.2. So take 0.2 from both sides. It's going to be 0.40. I'm timesing by 0.05, so divide both sides by 0.05. Cancels out. Use your calculator for that if you're not confident. X is going to be not equal to, x is going to be greater than 0.4 divided by 0.058. Therefore, cheaper if call time is greater than 8 minutes. Solve the following simultaneous equations graphically. Separate the grid into two separate halves. So I'm going to need a ruler for this. So, grab my ruler. Sorry about any noise of the plastic on plastic. You just have to deal with that. Oh, jeez. Alright, hopefully I don't swear using this ruler, because it's very slippery on the screen. Alright, that's ruled. So I'm going to do my axes in black, and it's suggesting use a scale of 2 per square. I just want to save you the time of making the error and realizing it's not big enough to show your lines. So that's the first one. That's the second line of the axis. Okay, so looking at the line 5x on 2, that's the slope. So rise over run is going to be 5 over 1, and the y-intercept is positive 2. The other line, rise over run, is going to be 2 over 1. Y-intercept is negative 7. So now I can draw the lines, knowing that the scale is 2 for every box. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, etc. So the first line, it has a y-intercept of positive 2 there, and a rise of 5, and a run of 1. So 1 across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, rise of 5. So now draw a line between those two dots. So hopefully I can keep this ruler steady while drawing through it. The screen is very slippery. That's 1. Now the next line crosses the y-axis at negative 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Negative 7. Run of 1. Rise of 2. 1, 2. So draw a line through those dots. Oh, slippery. So there you can see that they're crossing in the middle of this dot here. So to work out what the coordinates of that is, that's negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13. How far across is it? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So the coordinates of the point are negative 3, negative 13. So solve the following simultaneous equations graphically. Your solution is x is equal to negative 3, y is equal to negative 13. Alright, the next one, continue the axis over. in black. Alright. This one doesn't say use a scale of 2 per square, so it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. So these are in general form. So how do I draw those? You don't need to switch them to slope-intercept form and then draw. You can use what I taught you. Make x equals 0 and then solve for y, and that is the y-intercept. 2 times 0 is 0, so negative 3y is equal to 18. Y is going to be 18 divided by negative 3. Y is going to be 18 divided by negative 3 is negative 6. And to find the x-intercept, I make y is equal to 0 this time. So 2x, take 3 lots of 0 is equal to 18. 2x is going to be 18, so x is going to be 9. So that's my first line. Y is negative 6, so negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. X is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be here somewhere. Just keep it even. So line between those two dots. Alright, the next line. This one here, when x is equal to 0, plus y is 4, what's left over, y is going to be 4. So the y-intercept of the second line is at 4, make y is equal to 0 this time, x plus 0 is equal to 4, x is equal to 4. So the x-intercept of this line is 4 as well. So it's a nice 45-degree diagonal line there. So we can see that they cross at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to negative 2 down. So therefore your solution is x is equal to 6, y is equal to negative 2. Alright, so on to the next page. Alright, solve the following simultaneous equations by substitution. So substitution is when one of the equations is written with the variable as a subject, and that is the top one here, because the subject is x. And now, because the subject is x, I can substitute whatever it tells me that x is into the other equation. So 2 lots of, what does it tell me x is? 8 take 3y. That's been substituted. What's the rest of the second equation? Take 7y is equal to negative 10. Expand the brackets, 2 times 8, 16. 3y's times by 2, negative 6y's, take 7y is equal to negative 10. 16, collect like terms. Negative 6, take 7, negative 13y is equal to negative 10. Get rid of the positive 16 by taking 16 from both sides. Negative 10 take 16 is going to be negative 26. What's the opposite of times it by negative 13? Dividing by negative 13. Do the same on both sides. Cancels out. Y is going to be negative 26 divided by negative 13. Negative divided by negative is a positive 2. That's not the solution, though, because that's just what y is. I need to know what x is. So substitute y into the easier looking equation, which is the top one. X is equal to 8, take 3. And what did I just work out y was? 2. X is going to be 8, take 3 times by, negative 3 times by 2 is negative 6. X is equal to 8, take 6, 2. So your solution is x is 2, y is 2. Next, the subject is again the top one, but the subject is y this time. Doesn't matter, it just means that you're replacing y in the second equation with whatever the first equation says y is. So 4x plus just one lot of y, whatever y is, which is 5x plus 3, is equal to 1. look at the brackets. Is there anything I can do? No. So I can remove the brackets. Collect like terms. 4x's plus 5x's is 9x's plus 3 is equal to 1. Want to get rid of the positive 3, so take 3 from both sides. 1 take 3 is going to be negative 2. Opposite of timesing by 9 is dividing by 9. On both sides, it gives me x is equal to negative 2 on 9, which doesn't cancel down. That's not the solution though, because I need to know what y is. Put it into the easier equation. Y is equal to 5 lots of whatever x is, negative 2 on 9, plus 3. Remembering 5 is 5 over 1. 5 times negative 2, negative 10 over 1 times 9 is 9, plus 3. These don't have the same denominators, so I need to give them common denominators. I need to times the top. Well, this is already 9. The lowest common denominator is going to be 9, with 9 and 1. So I need to times 3 by 9, which is 27 over 9. Now I can add them. So y is going to be negative 10 plus 27 is 17 over 9. So x is negative 2 ninths, y is equal to 17 ninths. This block notes is getting worse. Hopefully I can get through this. Solve the following simultaneous equations by elimination. So elimination, what are the rules? Look at one of the variables, apply an operation to make the coefficient of that variable equal in size, opposite in sign, add vertically, and then solve. So looking at this equation, I'm going to look at x. I notice that they're already equal in size, opposite in sign, because this is positive 2, this is negative 2. So I can add them vertically already. Negative 2x's plus 2x's is going to be 0x's. 7y's plus negative 3y's is the same as 7y's take 3y's is positive 4y's. Is equal to 13 plus negative 9, which is the same as 13 take 9, which is 13 take 9 is 4. So what do we have? 4y's is equal to 4. Now I can solve. Opposite of timesing by 4 is dividing by 4. Y is going to be 4 on 4, 1. That's not the solution though, because I only know what y is. Put it into any of the equations above. Let's do the second one, because I don't like negative numbers. 2x take 3 lots of y, which I said was 1, is equal to negative 9. 2x, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, is equal to negative 9. Get rid of the negative 3 by adding 3. Negative 9 add 3 is negative 6. Get rid of the times by 2 by dividing by 2 on both sides. X is going to be negative 6 on 2 is negative 3. So your solution is x is negative 3, y is equal to 1. The last one on this page, solving by elimination again, because you've been told to. I'm going to look at x. I could look at y. It doesn't matter. There's no shortcut here because they're both different numbers to each other and not opposite signs. I can't eliminate straight away, so I'm going to look at x again. 4 and 3. Smallest number they both go into is 12. So how am I going to do that? How am I going to get them both to 12 and have opposite signs? I'm going to times the top one by 3. I'm going to times the bottom one by negative 4. So the top one times by 3. The equation is going to look like 12x negative 18y is equal to 63. The bottom equation is going to be negative 12x negative 20y is equal to negative 4 times negative 8 is 32. Now x has equal size, opposite in sign coefficient, so I can add them vertically. That comes to 0 x's. Negative 18, negative 20 is negative 38y. 63 plus 32 is 95. So what do I have? Negative 38y's is 95. Okay. Get rid of negative 38 by dividing by negative 38 on both sides. That gives me y is equal to negative 95 on 38 as a fraction. That's one of the variables. I need to work out what the other variable is. Plug it into the original equation. 3x plus 5y's, which was negative 95 on 38, is equal to negative 8. Expand the brackets. 3x 5 times by negative 95 is going to be negative 475 on 38. Why? Because 5 is 501, is equal to negative 8. They don't all have the same denominator, so I need to make them have the same denominator. Lowest common denominator between 1 and 38 is 38. So times 3x by 38 is going to be 114x on 38. This is already on the denominator 38, so leave it. Negative 8 times by 38 is negative 304 on 38. Times all by 38. You're going to have 114, take 475 is equal to negative 304. Continue working out here. What's the opposite of taking 475? Adding 475 to both sides. Negative 304. Add 475 is going to be 171. Opposite of timesing by 114, dividing by 114 on both sides. X, 171 divided by 114. And that's it. 171 divided by 114. If you chuck those in the calculator though, well, I'll accept that because it doesn't say anything about whether it has to be lowest common denominator or decimal, but if you chuck those into the calculator, you'll find that, or x is equal to, if you do 171 divided by 114, it's actually 1.5, and y, negative 95 over 38 is actually negative 2.5. So that's that page done. Moving on. 6 adult tickets, 5 student tickets to Kanye's Yeezus concert cost $168. 2 adult tickets and 3 student tickets cost $72. Find the cost of each type of ticket. So we want each type of ticket. I've got how many types of ticket? Adult tickets and student tickets. So I've got 2 unknowns here. But what we do have is 2 equations. We've got enough information to solve even though there's 2 unknowns. Because I've got 6 and 5 makes 168. 2 and 3 makes 72. So what we're going to do is x is going to be adult ticket cost and y is going to be students. Alright, 6 adult tickets is going to be 6x plus 5 student tickets is going to be 5y's, and we're told they cost $168. 2 adult tickets is going to be 2x's. Plus 3 student tickets is 3y's is going to be 72. We have 2 separate equations that are referring to the same thing, which is the student tickets. Therefore, they are simultaneous and they can be solved at the same time. Look at one of the variables. I'm going to look at x. 6 and 2, they're not the same size equal in sign, so I need to make them the same size equal in sign. 2 goes into 6 nicely, so I need to times it by negative 3 to make it opposite sign. So the equations are now going to be 6x. This isn't going to change, but the second one is negative 6x, negative 9y is equal to 72 times negative 3 is negative 216. Okay, we can add them vertically now. 6 plus negative 6 is 0x's. 5 plus negative 9 is the same as 5 take 9 negative 4y's. 168 take 216 is negative 48. So what do we have now? Negative 4y's is equal to negative 48. What's the opposite of times by negative 4? Divide by negative 4 on both sides. Y is going to be negative 48 divided by negative 4 is not negative 12, it is just 12, because a negative divided by negative is a positive. That's not the full solution though, because that's just the student tickets. I need to know what adult tickets cost. So chuck it into one of the formula. Chuck it in the second one. 2x's plus 3 lots of y, which are 12, is equal to 72. 2x plus 36 is equal to 72. 2x, opposite of adding 36 is taking 36. 72 take 36 is 36. Divide both sides by 2. X is going to be 36 divided by 2 is 18. Therefore, adult tickets are $18. Student tickets are, what the first one we worked out, $12. Next, Kanye's got 50-cent coins and 20-cent coins in his purse. He's got a purse. He's got 21 coins in total. 20 coins in his purse. 21 coins in total, total value of $8.40. How many of each type of coin does Kanye have? So how many of each type of coin? I'm going to make X equal to 50 cent. Y equal 20 cent. So, if X is the number of 50-cent coins, and Y is the number of 20-cent coins, and I've got 21 coins in total, that's my first equation. Number of 50 cents plus number of 20 cents is equal to, I got 21 coins overall. Now, unlike this equation, where you were just talking about cost the whole time, here you're talking about the number of coins in one equation and the cost in the other. Why can we do that? Because we know the value of the 50-cent coins and the 20-cent coins. So what's the value of one 50-cent coin going to be? 0.5. How about I don't know how many coins there are? How about the only thing I know about the number of coins I've got is that there's X? Well, the value of the 50-cent coins, however many I've got, is going to be 0.5 times however many I have. Same with the 20-cent coins, but it's 0.2 this time, times by however many 20-cent coins I've got, and we know that their total value adds up to $8.40. Okay? So now same process. These two equations are dealing with the same variables. X and Y refer to the number of 50-cent, 20-cent coins, but they are not equal in size, opposite in sign yet. I'm going to look at X. The coefficient of the top equation is 1. The coefficient of the bottom is a half. So I need to times the bottom by -2 to make it equal in size, opposite in sign of the top. So I didn't do anything to the top, it stays the same. The bottom is going to be -1, because what is -2 times by a half? -1. -2 times by 0.2 is going to be -0.4y is equal to, what's -2 times by $8.40, -16.80. So now they're equal in size, opposite in sign. I can add them vertically. 0x's 1y take 0.4y is going to be positive 0.6y. 21 take $16.80 is $4.20. So what do I have? 0.6y is $4.20. Opposite of times by 0.6 is dividing by 0.6. Do that on both sides. Y is going to be 4.20 divided by 0.6. Y is 7. That's not the full solution, because that just tells me how many 20-cent coins I've got. Substitute into the easy equation. X plus y is 21. X plus 7 is 21. Opposite of adding 7 is taking 7. 21 take 7 is 14. So what do I have? Therefore, 14 50-cent coins and 7 20-cent coins. Number 12. At a school fete, Kim and Kanye are looking to buy old books and CDs for their daughter, Northwest. That's legit what her name is. Kim buys 5 books and 2 CDs for $50. Kanye buys 2 books and 3 CDs for $31. Find the price of a book, a CD. So I'm going to make books X, CDs Y. So, sorry, 5 books, 5x, plus 2 CDs, 2y is equal to 50. And Kanye, 2x plus 3y is equal to 31. Look at, you know what? Let's look at x again. I'm just going to look at x all the time. They're not equal size, opposite in sign. So what do I need to do? Times that by 2, times this by -5. I don't know why I drew that line there. I can't add them vertically yet. So the top line times by 2, 10x plus 4y is equal to 100. Times by -5, negative 10x, negative 15y is equal to 5 times 31 is going to be negative 5 times 31 is going to be negative 155. So now we can add them vertically, and I didn't leave enough space. Struggling now, aren't I? Alright, 0x, 4 take 15y, negative 11y, 100 take 155 is negative 55. So what do we have? Negative 11y is equal to negative 55. Get rid of times by negative 11 by dividing by negative 11. Cancels out. Y is equal to negative 55 divided by negative 11. That's 5. I need to work out what x is. 2x's plus 3y's, which are 5, is equal to 31. Up here, 2x plus 15 is equal to 31. Opposite of adding 15 is taking 15, which is going to leave me 16. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X is going to be 16 divided by 2 is 8. Therefore, find the price of books. Books are $8 because that's what X was. CDs are Y is $5. Later in the day, the prices at the Fate are reduced. Kim and Kanye's original purchases, would now cost $29 for Kim, $16 for Kanye. It's not telling us how many they bought this time because it just told us that the original purchase, they're buying the same number as before. So still finding books and CDs. So simultaneous equations are basically the same. 5x plus 2y, but now they add up to less 29. The next one, 2x plus 3y is equal to 16 this time, so they're saving money. Let's look at x again. What did we decide last time? We just times by 2 times by -5. The only difference is what they're going to equal. So the simultaneous equations now are going to be 10x plus 4y is equal to 29 times 2 is 58. Bottom line, negative 10x, negative 15y is equal to 16 times -5 is negative 80. Sorry about the croaky voice. Add vertically, 0x's, 4 take 15, negative 9y's, 58 take 80. Ooh, that's wrong. That's not right. Negative 4 take 15 is not 9y. Sorry, 4 take 15 is going to be negative 11y's. My bad. Is equal to 58 take 80, negative 22. So what do we have? Negative 11y's is equal to negative 22. Opposite of timesing by negative 11, divide by negative 11 on both sides. Cancels out. Y is going to be negative 22 divided by negative 11. That's straight up 2. You need to work out what x is. 2x plus 3 lots of y, which we know is 2, is 16. 2x plus 6 is equal to 16. Get rid of the add 6 by taking 6 from both sides. 10. Divide both sides by 2. X is going to be 10 divided by 2, 5. So therefore, books later in the day are $5. CDs are $2 now. That's that page done. Last page. In his spare time, Kanye paints signs on buildings. Oh, I didn't know that. That sounds interesting. He can paint letters which contain only straight edges quite easily, but letters which contain curved edges take longer. That makes sense. It takes Kanye 25 minutes to paint the word chemist. 25 minutes to paint the word chemist, 43 minutes to paint the word supermarket. How long does it take Kanye to paint straight edge letters, curved edge letters? So it's telling us what we need to make X. X is straight letters. Y is curved. Where are my equations though? So you're used to the question giving you numbers. We just have to decipher that. The numbers are there, but we have to count them. So looking at these, chemist. H is straight, E is straight, M is straight lines, I is straight lines, T is straight lines. So that is 5 straight. And how many curved? 1, 2. 2 curved letters in chemist. Supermarket as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight. How many curved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 curved letters. And that's where we get our equations from. If X is the time it takes to paint straight letters. So for the first equation, chemist, 5X plus 2Y is going to be 25. The second word, 6 straight plus 5 curved is 43. These are our equations now. Let's look at Y this time. Change it up a little bit. And because I can notice 5 and 6, they go into 30. I want to do big numbers like that. So, smallest number that 2 and 5 go into are 10. So I'm going to times the top by 5 and the bottom by -2. So the equations now are going to look like this. 25x plus 10y equals 125. Times 6 by -2, -12x, -10y is equal to -86. Coefficient of y is equal size opposite sign now. So we can add vertically. 25 take 12, 13x. Positive 10, -10 is 0 y's. 125 take 86, 39. So what do we have? 13x is equal to 39. Opposite of timesing by 13, divided by 13 on both sides. X is going to be 39 divided by 13, 3. So that's X we decided was straight, so that's the answer to 1. Straight letters take how many? 3 minutes. Continue on, because that's not the full solution. We want to work out what y is equal to. Chuck the x is equal to 3 into one of the equations. 5x, so replace the x with 3. No, I'll just go back. Ooh. Struggling now. Feeling a bit ill. 5 times 3 is equal to, not equal to, plus. So the first equation is 5x plus 2y. 2y is equal to 25. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2y is equal to 25. Opposite of adding 15 is taking 15. Take 15 from both sides. You're going to be left with 10. Opposite of timesing by 2, dividing by 2. Y is equal to 10 divided by 2y is going to be 5. So 2 curved letters take 5 minutes. Alright. So last thing for the test, remembering this is longer than what the real thing is. You don't need to work that hard in a double, but your tests need to be a double lessons worth, so you're used to senior expectations. How long would it take Kanye to paint the word accountant? Well, I've worked out how long straight letters take. how long curved letters take. So we just need to work out how many straight and curved letters are in this word. 1 straight, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 straight. How many curved? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 curved. So 6 straight taking 3 minutes each, plus 4 curved taking 5 minutes each. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 4 times 5 is 20. 18 plus 20 is 20, plus 10, 30, plus 8, 38. Therefore, 38 minutes to paint this word here, accountant. Alright, so that is a solutions video for your practice linear equations, inequalities and simultaneous equations test. Hopefully that helps you out, and I'll see you in the next one.